with positive commandments. With tefillin is 8. So a person who puts on tefillin and tzitzit every day, how many mitzvot he is doing? 8 plus 4 is 12. Rabbi Yochanan ben Yosef Amar, Kol sheyesh lo banim ve'eino megaddelan lilmod Torah. Right? What is the definition of Am Haaretz? Says Rabbi Yochanan ben Yosef, whoever has children and he doesn't raise them in the ways of Torah. This is a warning to those who put their children in a non-Jewish schools. May Hashem help them to put their children in Jewish schools, not to come up with all sorts of, excuse, it's too expensive. Right? It's the insurance for life. Right? Putting children in a proper Jewish school.
What if they get the Jewish education, but they go to public school?
Very good.
My whole life, Rabbi, I went to, even in Iran, there was no Jew. There was, but right next to my school, there was a very special lady who had a temple, and she taught me Hebrew. And
you were lucky that you learned Hebrew and
I was very
you
lucky.
survived.
I was lucky.
The problem
and then
is
when I came here, I went to Torah Chaim, and
Yes.
then afterwards I went to public school. But I would, Baruch Hashem, Ohel Moshe had a lot of programs. A lot of programs, thank God.
And you joined those programs.
Yeah, so what happened, is that okay or it's still...
So let me say, there are different levels of spiritual gain and growth. The best is to put children in Jewish school because it protects a person from all sorts of bad things. Now, even in Jewish schools, there could be problems, right? But there is less problems. For example, there is no goyim, there is no Gentiles, so the children do not mingle with them, do not become too friendly with them, and that would not contribute to intermarriage, right? They would not eat that which they bring is not kosher. So they are not exposed to them so much, right? And they do not learn from their ways of life, right? They do not learn from that all bad midot, right? And later on, it becomes much easier to continue to become Jewish, to be Jewish, and to even grow. But if somebody is surrounded with all sorts of bad, impure powers, as says in the Gemara, is compared to a person who is holding onto a sheretz, to a rat or mouse, and he is dipping in the mikveh. Says the Mishnah, even if all the waters of the whole world come onto him, it was actually the Mishnah of today in Chochle Israel, right? If all the waters, I think it was Mishnah, if it comes all onto him, it's not going to clean him. Why? Because he is holding on to impurity. So a person who unfortunately goes to an impure place, he gets influenced by it, right?
And you learn a higher level of Hebrew.
Yes, of course, you learn higher, yes, it's much better, right? Okay, so let's go on. What is it? 5 for Sisid. Okay, correction. Thank you so much. One who doesn't wear Sisid, he loses 5 positive commandments. So, one who wears Sisid and Tefillin in the morning or any time of the day, right? He gets 13 mitzvot. 13 mitzvot. Right? And it says, right?
You're talking about undershirt Sisid, right?
Undershirt Sisid, yes.
Not this Sisid.
That Sisid also brings another 5.
Oh, this is another 5.
Another 5. So there was this Rav, Harav Scheinberg, Harav Pinchas Scheinberg, Harav Shalom, who used to wear a lot of sisiot, right? So for each sisit, he got 5. Maybe, I don't know, 40, 50 sisiot. He would
Oh, he was another 40, 50, 60 years.
Maybe even more. Nobody knows exactly how many did. Okay, so let's go on. So if a person has children and doesn't send his children to Jewish school, he's Amhares, lo alenu. Right? Yeah. ללמוד תורה, ואחרים אומרים, אחרים say, אפילו קורא ושונה, ולא שימש תלמיד חכם. He learns, right? He learns, but he doesn't learn from a תלמיד חכם, right? Or he doesn't learn the details, according to Rashi. He is considered Amharis. قرأ ולא שנה, הרי זה בור. He learns, he learns Torah, but not Mishnah. He is considered a bore, empty head. Lo gara velo shana. He doesn't learn Torah. He doesn't learn Mishnah. Allah vakatov. What is written about him in the pasuk in Yirmiyah says, "Vezarati et bet Israel ve'et bet Yehuda zera Adam ve'zera behema." So that which is zera, right, is not considered the best zera. Is like compared to zera of behema lo alenu. So this Mishnah comes to tell us the importance of learning Torah, right, and Mishnah with commentaries, to have a good role model, right, to provide Jewish education, to keep Torah and mitzvot, to do all the mitzvot, right? We do not know the sechar of mitzvot, so therefore we need to keep all the mitzvot as much as we possible. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu help us that we do not be considered as Amharis. They were Gedolim who cried and they were afraid. They would say, "Oh, I don't want to be Amharis. I don't want to be Amharis." And we don't want to be Amharis as well. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu help us that in today's society we be a Talmid Chacham and not Amharis. V'nomar Amen. Okay.
Rabbi, but who is considered a Talmid Chacham?
That has a whole definition on its own. But short and sweet, one who learns Torah, Torah shebichtav, Torah sheba'al peh, who has a Rav, who learns the details, right, and who is fluent in Torah, Nevi'im, Ketubim, and Mishnayot, and or he's building his way up to that level. Yeah. These days, Talmid Chacham is one who really works hard in yeshivot and kolelim. They can be called Talmid Chacham because they're trying to get there. And the Havdil is like a person who is in residency. He's becoming a doctor. He's not a doctor, but they call him doctor.
Right.
Okay, Talmid Chacham. Talmid is a student of a Chacham.
Sorry, another question.
Sure, go ahead.
You know, a lot of people told me to get a Rav. You know, to get a Rav.
Asel Harab, it says in Pirkei Avot.
How do you get a Rav? I know it's like something stupid, but like, do you go ask
No,
a
it's
rabbi?
not stupid. This is a very good question.
Do you ask a rabbi, can you be my rabbi? Like, how do you?
So very good. Choosing a Rab, it says in the Mishnayot, Aseh lecha Rab u'bnei lecha chaver. Why does it say make for yourself a rabbi? How can you make you for yourself a rabbi? And it says u'bnei lecha chaver, acquire for yourself a friend. What does that mean? So the Mefarshim explain that in order to choose a rabbi, you need to become friendly to a certain rabbi who knows
that rabbi you're choosing,
that you're comfortable with, that you choose him as your mentor, that you are so comfortable with him that you could reveal to him your secrets, your potentials are known to him, your weakness is known to him, right? He has experience to advise you based on who you are, right? And you have the ability to communicate with him, right? He's accessible, right? So that person could become your Rab. Now it says "Ughnenecha chaver," which means you need to acquire for yourself a Rab, no, a friend. Buy, as means to have a good friend, you need to be willing to spend money, right? To have a good friend who knows you, that you come to help him, he comes to help you. A good friend sometimes could be very helpful. We go through a lot of difficulties in life. Now, if somebody's friend could become one's wife, right? Right? Le'im ahuvim, right? However, right, sometimes one cannot share certain things with his wife. So he needs to have a good friend, or he needs to have a good Rab. A Rab could be one's friend, but a person needs to be very careful to respect him and not joke around with him like he does with a friend. Right? So there's a lot of similarities between a good Rab and a friend.
But also the one important thing you mentioned, you have to have a relationship with him.
Yes, very important, right? You need to spend time, you need to communicate, he needs to know you and your family, he needs to perhaps know your culture, who can relate to you. Yes. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen ve Amen.